wind's wings, they did darken the sky. His roar, fury's fire, and his scales sharpened sighs. Men ran and they cowered, and they fought and they died. They burned and they bled as they issued their cries. Dovakin, Dovakin, naluksin los varin, wadain vokul mafera kastval, afinoro palgran fotnost hon sindrosan, Dovakin fachin kogen mudra. We need saviors to free us from Alduin's rage, heroes on the field of this new war to wage. And if Alduin wins, man is gone from this world, lost in the shadow of the black wings unfurled. But then came the tongues on that terrible day, steadfast as winter, they entered the fray. And I heard the music of Alduin's doom, the sweet song of Skyrim, sky-shattering Thum. And so the tongues freed us from Alduin's rage, gave a gift of the voice, ushered in a new age. And if Alduin's eternal, then eternity's done, for his story is over and the dragons are gone. So the tongues freed us from Alduin's rage, gave a gift of the voice, ushered in a new age. And if Alduin's eternal, then eternity's done, for his story is over and the dragons are gone. Alduin's wing.
This is an ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials. We drink to our youth, to days come and gone, for the age of aggression is just about done. We'll drive out the stormcloaks and restore what we own. With our blood and our steel, we will take back our home. down with Ulfric, the killer of kings. On the day of your death we will drink and we'll sing. We're the children of Skyrim and we fight all our lives. And when Sovngarde beckons, every one of us dies. But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
Raw materials. Make some armor. Got it. Just need to, yeah. What do you mean by raw materials?
Start by tanning some leather on the rack. A lot of weapons and armor need leather for straps, fittings, that kind of thing.
Oh, right. I knew that.
It means so much to us to have the claw back where it belongs. Thank you. What are you talking about? What's in the letter? Oh my. He wanted me to think Fandal wrote this? Thank you for telling me the truth. Could you talk to Fandal as well? I'm sure he'll want to thank you for standing up for him. Until next time.
Tell me as soon as you've given Camilla the letter. I appreciate your help. Please, take this. Some gold I've saved up from working at the mill. Mm-hmm.
Good dog.
stupid dog.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Tools, wares, and weapons. All for sale at fair prices.
Good dog.
Tools, wares, and weapons. All for sale at fair prices. Welcome to you.
I once spent a night in Dragon Region with a wisp for a cellmate.
An astute question, for we are far from home, and this is a cold, hard land. The wise trader finds the best opportunities, even if he must travel far to find them. Skyrim is a ripe opportunity indeed. The dragons and the war have scared many other traders away, but for those with courage, there is much profit to be made.
You have the foresight of a
May your roads lead to warm sands.
If we offer a discount,
Fortune smiles upon this. Take a look.
For helping the losers.
I had not thought of it. I hope that you will come to do business with us again. Goods and wares of all kinds, and all can be yours.
Be on your best behavior. Khajiit are few, but their will is strong.
They're likely to pay you in furs.
Come and see what goods I offer.
Yes, although this caravan is new to Lajan. She was with another, but it did not survive the road. That is in the past. Khajiit cannot change it, so it is best left alone. One of Risad's previous bodyguards died fending off a Falmar attack. It made sense for Khajiit to take her place. Given what happened to her own caravan, it is her chance at redemption. Khajiit has not seen enough to form an opinion. Stupid dog. But she knows it is not warm. A warrior must not exploit a weakness, but fight to her strengths. Because not all opponents are weak. May the sun warm your feet and melt the snow beneath.
What do you want?
Stupid dog. The air is so clear in Skyrim. One can see forever. May the sun keep you warm, even in this land of bitter cold.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something in the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself.
Need a horse? Talk to my father, Skolvar.
Brigands I can handle. But this talk of dragons? World's gone mad, I say. One of the guards said he saw a mage appear out of thin air. Claimed it was one of those Sijic monks. Man's been hitting the skooma, I say.
Whiterun, jewel of Skyrim, home of the Skyforge and the Companions, but also the best salmon steak this side of Tamriel.
I've killed a companion before. But not just any companion. Would you believe he was a shapeshifter? He turned into a saber cat right before my eyes.
So, you're finally back. Look, I've been patient, but you still owe me. Oh, what's wrong? Did the engagement fall through? Look, how about we call even, as long as you bring back the wedding ring? That's really a shame. I was so looking forward to the wedding. You said you'd have all the most interesting guests. You went right out to give it to your fiancée. Don't you even remember where you left her? And after you told me that sweet story of how you met in Witchmist Grove, I can see why she left you. How could you forget? It was the sweetest story I'd ever heard. You met at the full moon, under the biggest tree in Witchmist Grove, surrounded by fireflies. It was straight out of a storybook. Decided to go through with it then. You know, you couldn't have forgotten about your fiancée. You spoke of her so glowingly. I don't know much about Morvenskar, but it sounded like a lovely place for the ceremony. Congratulations. Thank you. This should turn that old cat's gaze. Maybe I'll be able to become a caravaneer myself one day. As promised, let me show you a thing or two about bargaining. Don't want some shifty merchant giving you a raw trade. Farewell.
Need something?
What is it? What has happened to the Gildergreen? I have traveled long here to worship beneath its branches.
It was
God
taken
bless
by
you,
lightning
Henry.
strike. Wish I had time to deal with it, but it's hard enough with all these wounded from the war.
Please, don't just let it stay like this. It's disgraceful.
I really don't have time to deal with you right now. Please just let me get back to my work.
But this is supposed to be your work.
Better already.
So, have you gotten Nettlebane back from those filthy hag-ravens yet? Oh, Well, I honestly didn't expect you to come back. Of course I'm glad you did. Now... I don't really want to touch that thing, though. Do you think you could handle the next steps? Eldergleam Sanctuary Grove is to the east of here. You can use Nettlebane to retrieve some of its sap.
So sick.
Was I correct in hearing that you were traveling to the Grove of the Eldergleam? I am a traveler, a pilgrim. I follow the voice of Kinnereth wherever it can be heard. I've dreamed of seeing Eldergleam for years. Might I travel alongside you? I promise not to get in the way. I thank you for your kindness.
Do you have the Eldergleam sap? Yorick's sister? Poor child. Magic runs deep in that family's bloodline. It's not always a blessing. Thank you for this. Something for your trouble. The hags are hateful of anything which grows from the earth. They made the weapon strong against the natural world. It's the only thing I've even heard of that could cut Eldergleam. Stick it in, give it a twist, and the stuff will just flow out. To the east of here is a hidden grove where the Eldergleam resides. It's the oldest living thing in Skyrim, maybe all of Tamriel. Our tree here in the city was grown from a cutting of that tree. You can still feel the glory of the mother tree through it. Even its name is an echo. May Kinnereth's winds blow you to fortune.
Ulfred, patron of the great clan battle.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. Think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
Drink to our youth.
If it's worth... Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room, right this way.
We'll drive out the stormcloaks and restore what we own. With our blood and our steel, we will take back our home. Down with Ulfric, the killer of kings. On the day of your death, we will drink.
Let me know if there's
we'll
anything else
sing.
you need.
We're the children of Skyrim, and we fight all our lives. And when Sovngarde beckons, every one of us dies. But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you, you know, even if you are my elder.
Tools, wares, and weapons, all for sale at fair prices. Goods and wares of all kinds, and all
Got the fleetest steeds in all of Skyrim. Suppose so. Got one all saddled if you've got the coin. You've got the deal. It's the one with the saddle. Ride strong.
You're nothing.
I'll try and make this quick.
No more!
Give up while you still can.
I fought worse than you.
Of course. Ride strong.
Beginning to think this city's Argonian. Population is wherever I happen to be standing.
Of course. What was that? Just bring it back to me. You've done well.
Don't do that.
Just bring it back to me. Huh? What in the...
Over here.
What are you doing that for? Nah, I don't think so. It would seem so. It can't be helped. You expect me to believe that? Nah, I don't think so. You've done well. Of course. For that price? Sure. Thank you. Here, this is for you.
Halt! City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Riverwood's in danger too? You better go on in. You'll find the Jarl in Dragon's Reach, at the top of the hill.
Need something?
It's not easy being a woman in Skyrim, I know. But stay strong, and men will come to respect you, and maybe even fear you. Maybe you can help me. I miss the days when the Greymanes and Battleborns got along. Ever since the war started, we've been at each other's throats. Thank you. Here, this is for you. Thanks. There's nothing a man can do that I can't do better. Whether it's serving drinks or slaying trolls.
Yes?
Need something? They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready.
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your king to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of...
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything, or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
Make it quick. Speak quickly.
Take pity, lady.
Huh?
Spare me a few symptoms.
If it's work you're looking for, Hulda's the one to talk to.
Well, hello.
Tools, wares, and weapons, all for sale at fair prices.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off.
fools are actually fighting!
Yeah? What?
Yes?
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off.
An orc follows to the death.
Enough!
I suppose you think you're better than me because you can do that.
You have something to say? Well, save your breath. The way I see it, you don't have much more of them left. Targets for cowards whose blades say nothing. The son of Cloud the Temple named me the Desert Fang. The Thalmor know me as as Death's courier. To you, I am simply Sebastian, the Khajiit who spared your life. Cyrodiil, fool, from the steps of Cloudwheeler Temple, from whence I came before that. No one knows. The blade who had left the service found me as he descended the steps. To him it was a sign from the Divines. In truth, it was just a cowardly mother, waiting for the opportune time, and a man with forlorn eyes. Having left the Order, his eyes were indeed tainted with sorrow, and for that he pitied this kitten when he should have abandoned it. Yet it was his newly discovered faith in the workings of the gods that inspired him to develop the skills for which I'm the caretaker. The world is full of such tales of fate and coincidence. That's what we burn into our memories. And all the other instances. Every day we live without incident. Those moments are never ascribed to the laziness of the gods. Just forgotten. Akaviri, forged in a dragon land, did a sword and armor of the blades, sworn to the service of the true emperor. Know this, my sword serves no one. You could be Tiber's Septim reborn, and I'll still send you back to the Divines with your head in your arms. Because I have no blade. The swords and armor I wear belong to a dead man, a man I killed. It's not an uncommon thing. These days you'll find more dead blades strewn across Tamriel than grains of sand. Cloudwheeler Temple is now home to maggots and flies, sprout from the pores of their foul cousins. No longer is it home to foolish mortals who spend far too many days with their heads in the clouds, while death awaits at their feet. The dragon roosts in the hills to the south. Having just gained life, it's not eager for death, therefore it's my steel. You are a simpleton to assume that I am only drawn by death. Life too flourishes in this hold. During the day, I visit Peak Shade's tower, calm my blood and meditate on the way of the Nine. At night, the mountain top allows me to survey the land, and on clear nights, the swirl of constellations in the sky. True. The one I killed to gain this armor was indeed a blade, a master of the dual sword technique, and my mentor. He was a man of 40 years, and I no older than a dozen. When I first bested him in single combat, yet he was still my better, and our bodies would never be at an age where I could prove otherwise. At 16, my mentor had exhausted his use to me in terms of body. I would have granted him death right then, if not for the secrets his mind guarded. The Way of the Nine, stances and techniques derived from the teachings of the Divines. That was his legacy, and his gift to me, his only pupil. But only when I was ready. A phrase thrown around by masters of all disciplines who wish to teach their pupils the value of patience. What I wasn't ready for, and never would be, was religious nonsense with which he dressed the art of the kill. Now as I enter my prime, I search for the lesson that escaped into the void when we last crossed our blades. Fool, the stance of Arche is the very heart of the dual sword technique. Life and death, ice and fire. The nature of all things are born of two. This duality applies to both life and battle. When a mortal kills a foe, in that instant, Arche grants death to one and life to the other. Or so the priestly ones will tell you. Yet the true duality lies not in the dirt and stars, but in how the blade serves as both sword and shield. Twin moons, one sky. Each blade shifts from offense to defense, a mirror reflection of the other, and the opponent knows not where to strike. Yet as it is not a single stance, but a motion that adapts to its opponent, it has proved as impenetrable in theory as it is in practice. You will understand little of what I speak, and much of it is of no practical use, but facile metaphors tossed around by dark man. But I will enjoy watching your brow twitch in confusion as I pass his words on to you. Take, for instance, Dibella, the god of beauty. Zenith, right foot facing east, left foot facing north, swords crossed in a defensive position. When braced together, two blades are as resolute as any shields, and the winds of Zenith with a shift for those who labor and endure. Akatosh, the dragon god of time. And what's battle but timing? No different than a bard's tune. Dance to the beat of a throbbing heart. The stance of Akatosh is an offensive position. A series of flurries that disrupt one's timing and rhythm. It's designed to stagger an opponent and end the fight quickly. But should you fail, you will fall to your own exhaustion. Julianos teaches that from one thing. Know 10,000. Study closely what is distant and look from a distance at what is close. Bah, garbled poetry and peasant wisdom. Unnecessary layers of depth that belies what is the simplest of all truths. It is easier to kill a one-armed foe than one with two arms and a sword. The stance of Julianos is designed to disarm, quite literally, in fact. The tip of the blades nearly scraped the ground, sweeping upward to catch the crook of the elbow where the joints meet and the flesh is exposed. Talos, mortal man ascended to the divines. The front foot face of the opponent, just as Talos faced the armies of men. The back foot faces the rear to the invisible plane of the eight. Two swords, pointed north and south, forwards and backwards in an open stance. If you only see the mortal man, you'll neglect the hidden divine. Stendar's Mercy, the only technique of the 9 that utilizes a single blade and a single cut. As two warriors pass on the road, the blade is drawn from the scabbard and returned in a single motion. 20 paces later, a red gash will appear on the victim's neck, no thicker than a cat's hair. 30 paces later, and the gash will form a crescent as pearls of blood trickle from the wound. 50 paces, and the line has run full circle, the blood dribbling onto his collar. The victim reaches for his neck, and upon touching it, his head topples over. Some 51 paces, traveler, from where you stand. That's where you can exhale. She stands nude, arms raised, cupping a golden flower, pouring cool water over her supple breasts. But here beauty is artifice. The stance is seduction. The blade raised in right hand glints like the midday sun, bewitching your eyes while its partner lies in the grass. The embrace of Mara. Both blades held out horizontally to create the illusion of an opening. Love too can be a source of bait. In this case, the love of blood. And Mara's blades close faster and hold tighter than any trap. The stance of Kynareth. Both blades pointed upward toward the sky. Power sacrificed for stealth. Just as we know not from where the rain falls, the blade's vertical position masks its angle and its target. It snowed that night when it should have rained. My mentor looked at the sky and said Kynareth was all out of tears. I said, Kynareth does not cry for fools. We drew our swords and dashed through the trees, our feet rapping against the snow. The night before I had chosen my stance. While most would use the flurry of Akatosh, the technique is too violent. I could kill my mentor and lose sight of the very thing I sought to learn. And in a spiritual sense, the father does not come before the son. It was the defense of Zenithar that shielded me from his attack. If I saw both his blades as swords and not shields, I could parry, if not kill. Our blades clashed, but made no sound, muffled by the snowstorm. His swords came at me from all directions, but I kept my eyes on his feet. Or more precisely, the tracks he left in the snow. There was a pattern there, if only I had more time. To Akatosh, I went for the flurry and the kill. Yet when I saw his blade rise to the block, I hesitated, only to see that very blade run me through. It was then that he revealed the true essence of the technique. I assumed he moved to protect his life, and his stroke came for my death. But the blade missed my heart by the width of a cat's hair. I made no such mistake with his neck. Just like that, it was over. I dropped to my knees and reached for my potion as his body drowned in a cascade of snow. I tossed the half-empty bottle beside his severed head and said he could have the rest. When he didn't respond, I couldn't help but laugh. All of it, the tracks, the blood, and his legacy, washed away in a tide of white. What you consider a fight, or even a war, is nothing more than a brawl between drunken louts over a spilled drink. A great swordsman's talents are wasted in a war. Stray arrows, trebuchets, accidents. Many great warriors have been felled by the blade of chaos. One can't even trust his own side in the haze of war. Who's to say who's friend or foe? When your eyes squint through geysers of dirt and smoke. Like your queries, they range from the utterly pointless to the completely meaningless. Then we agree on something. It's not often my views line with that of the simpletons. Perhaps I need to re-examine my position. Another simple query from a devout simpleton. The answer is tall, green-robed, and uglier than an imp. The Thalmor's tentacles extend all across Tamriel, but in Skyrim, their presence is weak. While they are busy protecting their vital organs, it will bleed out from their wrists with every Justicar I slay on the road below. There's a stag that passed through here, white as a summer cloud. The hunters think it would look better in red. Fools all become heroes when their opponent is a helpless beast. I confess, I've killed enough Spriggans to start my own sawmill. I could kill you too and sell the bone meal to my farmers. Be gone, then.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see. It's from Falk Firebeard at the Blue Palace. Ooh, you've got friends in high places. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
I feel like I'm in Cyrodiil. The Thalmor also left that place a graveyard.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. I think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
That's a question I have asked myself for weeks now. Am I all right? Will she be all right? Was it wrong to come here? I'm sick. I mean, it would be fine if it was just a cough, but, well, my body hurts so much I can barely walk. And those are the good days.
Did you know they just bury anyone in the graveyard we have here?
On
Friends,
bad
enemies,
days, it hurts to be alive.
Just make it seem bigger than it
Enough
is.
to make me wonder why I still am. Oh, I'm sure it's still nothing compared to the wounds soldiers get. But that doesn't provide much comfort. Not when my daughter is so young. Not unless you're going to Valenwood. My husband heard there's a rare mushroom that grows on the trees there. But I doubt even then it'd make a difference. RK brought us here for a reason. Oh, I know. My faith wasn't always as strong as it is now. In fact, I almost gave up on the Divines altogether.
Did I ever tell you about the time I drank 6 cells at the
Henrietta,
table?
my baby girl.
Of course, some
Bright,
cells only
talented, and just enough of her father's courage to be brave without being fearless. She complains a lot too, but I forgive her. Which part? And here I thought you were going to say the complaining part. Not that you'd be wrong, but it'd be sort of mean to say. My husband passed away not too long ago. She reminds me so much of him. If she ever asked me what he was like, I would have told her to just look in the mirror. He was a gallant man, and my best friend. Some would say we knew each other better than we knew ourselves. When the Great War began, he was one of the first in our town to enlist in the Imperial Army. He despised the Thalmor. So did I. When the White Gold Concordat was signed, he defected from the Legion to join the Red Guard forces as they pushed the elves back to Somerset Isle. I supported him in his decision. I told him to go to Glane, where the army needed soldiers most. That's where he met a girl, in a small town by the southern peninsula. He said it meant nothing, but it changed everything. He betrayed my trust, and the vow he made before Mara. But, Mara forgive me, I still loved him. That was the problem. But I also knew I couldn't stay in Hammerfell any longer. There were too many memories. I couldn't look at the desert sands without thinking about the war. And I couldn't think about the war without thinking about that girl. So we moved back to Cyrodiil, to Bruma, a place without sands or oceans. Well, things finally began to slow down. It took some time to patch our relationship back together, but we made it work for 20 years. And in the meantime, I had Henrietta. An alchemist told him about a magical plant that grows only in the damp forests of Valenwood. As a base agent, it could make a potion strong enough to cure any disease. Whether he found it or not, he promised to come back in a month's time for Henrietta's birthday. He never did. It was a foolish thing. A romantic thing, but the two are often one and the same. What did he think would happen to Henrietta if he never came back? If not for the guidance of the Divines, I shudder to think of the consequences. Yes, I plan to stay here with my daughter until Archay bid me leave. I've already arranged for a plot of land, away from the trees, where the stone faces east.
Once was a hero named Ragnar the Red.
Thank you. It's funny, when they told me about the Grand Cemetery at Falkreath, I was so worried it might be too large. I feared Henrietta wouldn't be able to find my headstone. But when we got here, I was relieved. The graveyard is so cozy, and the priest is a kind man. I am. I was afraid to die before, not knowing what would become of my daughter. I thought she would end up lost and alone, a child few people noticed and nobody wanted. Now my heart is filled with more trivial concerns, and I often forget how lucky I am to have them. I am worried she'll forget me. She's just a child, and the memories she has now will soon be replaced. I know when she's older, she'll remember Indara as her real mother. It's wrong to think so, but it almost makes me jealous. I just want to be a part of her life, even when I'm gone. Well, these last few days I've tried to tell her all the little things, the stuff she won't understand until she's older. How to brush her hair, how to tell when a man lies, the perfect recipe for apple cabbage soup. I thought, if I showed her all the little things, the big things would speak for themselves. She wouldn't have to wonder how much I loved her. Yet, when I talk to her now, all my words float by like dandelion clocks on the wind. By the Divines. Why didn't I think of that? That's a wonderful idea. Thank you, stranger. I think Runil has a quill and paper he keeps for his journal. I'm gonna get started right away. And if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a small favor. I know she'll be in good hands with Indara and Matthews, but if you could look in on her from time to time, make sure everything's all right, I'd appreciate it. Truly, the Divines must have sent you to answer my prayers. Thank you again, so much.
I met the love of my life at a tavern. She was a tall glass of ale. 2 weeks later, I left her for Timbo. Commitment has never really been my forte.
Welcome to Dead Man's Drink.
There's the stag.
Sure thing.
They say
It's yours
that
for a
they'll
day.
never let a woman rule the hold.
People say there's someone in Riften that can change your face. Make you look completely different. Do you believe that? I'll show you to your room. Out this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need. I escaped fighting in Cyrodiil, only to have it track me down again in Skyrim.
Watch here.
We are routed! Fall back!
My money's on the big one.